Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good evening. Welcome to the Dhammapada program. Today we are going to discuss verse number 66. It goes like this. Bala dummedha yam katukaphalam hoti. Tampapakam kammam karonta amitte neva attena charanti. Those unwise, foolish people behave in a manner that is harmful to themselves. Their sinful actions yield bitter fruit. They are their own enemy. This verse was uttered by the Buddha as a reply to someone, a deity, who wanted to test another person who claimed to be a saint in the sense, a stage he has attained. He wanted to say that he has attained a certain stage. The divine being who wanted to test whether he has really attained this stage. But he posed certain question. But the divine being's question was very simple, but this person simply ignored. Why? Because he knew that he has attained certain stage. There is no point of trying to convince. No point of trying to convince. So the Buddha, this divine being, reported this matter to the Buddha. The Buddha uttered this. Bala dummedayam katukappalam hoti tam papakam kammam karonta amitte neva attena charanti. It means those unwise, foolish people behave in a manner that is harmful to themselves. Their sinful actions yield bitter fruit. They are their own enemies. So, we cannot count on friends for our salvation, our liberation, our spiritual attainment. One has to do by himself. Therefore, they are their own enemies. If they do something harmful, then we are inviting unnecessary trouble, pain, suffering. Here the Buddha precisely Bala dummedha. The foolish people lacking wisdom, or we can also call immature people. The two words are more or less synonymous, Bala dummedha. But the lack of a sense of discrimination intensifies the meaning of ignorance. The sense of discrimination is compared in some texts to lightning in a mountain peak. That bolt of lightning destroys everything on the top of the mountain. In the same way, the wise are capable of destroying all the defilements. But the ignorant person and the person who is incapable of discrimination do not have the capacity to uproot blemishes. No capacity whatsoever to uproot blemishes. The foolish people who look intelligence, but they lack intelligence and commit evil actions that bring them harmful results. They are being enemies to themselves. They are being enemies to themselves. So what is important is to understand, having understood that these things are harmful to me and harmful to others, it is better to avoid doing something. Even if it is not harmful to oneself, if it is harmful to others, one must avoid. Should not do that. Because it is harmful to others and it's not harmful to me. That is very bad to practice that kind of things. You should always take into consideration others' pain, suffering, into kind consideration, and you should avoid harming others, not to put others in trouble, in pain. So it is the way that we can be more happier. Also, some people say that it is not doing harm to me, and why should I worry if others are undergoing pain because of my actions and thought? It's wrong. We must always think that if something is bad for others, it is bad for me too. If something is painful for others, it's painful for me too. If something is dangerous for others, it is going to be dangerous to me too. Thus, one must think and avoid doing harm to others and try to be kind to others. Thereby you are going to be kind to yourself. If you are kind to yourself, you must also be kind to others. If you are kind to yourself, you must not harm anybody else, even with your physical body, even with your speech, or even if your mind. So that is a noble thing to do. So that's what Buddha said. Kammang karunta amitteneva charanti. Somebody who is doing any harm to others, that person is behaving like an enemy to oneself. Myself, I should not harm others if I love myself, if I like myself, if I am kind to myself. You must think that way and don't harm others, don't hurt others. Be kind to others, then you will be kind to yourself. Because if you do harm to others without your knowledge, you are doing a great harm to yourself. So try to get this message and try to avoid harming others. Thereby you are doing a great thing to you and you are doing others great. May you all be well and happy.